Hey everybody, it's Joey here. I just wanted to do a quick preamble to explain why we are shit. We have been away, obviously, during COVID. We've all had a lot going on, a lot to deal with. And part of the reason was the sound quality wasn't going to be very good if we carried on with a phone call quality. So we figured out how to record Jimmy and Zoom each other, so it was almost like we're in the same room. And then we did this episode, and then Jimmy's laptop cocked up most of the sound. He sent me what he had. I cocked up the rest of it. Right shambles, and this is what we have. Jimmy's quality is not great. His sound quality, obviously, he's on point as normal. But yeah, I'm rambling. This is the episode. We recorded it, so I'm putting it out, and it's not as bad as I might make it sound. Cheers. Take it away, creepy voice guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, to those among you who are easily frightened, we suggest you turn away now. To those of you who think they can take it, we say, welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome back to the Madhouse. My name is Jimmy, and I know what you're all thinking. Whose round is it? Yes, it's the man with the deep pockets. It's Joey.
Hi, it's my round, is it?
Yeah, get him
We're
in.
coming back on that. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
How are you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. It has been a long time, and I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's been months.
We've been on pandemic hiatus, is what I've been calling it, because we haven't had the technological know-how to do remote calls like this. But there we go.
Yeah, I think we're getting back on it though.
Yeah, we did a couple where you were on the phone, but now we have you recording audio on both ends, like pros.
Spit roasting it.
Spit roast the audio, and now it's your sloppy seconds, listener, as we start talking about a film that I chose called Don't Knock Twice.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, Don't Watch Twice.
Oh, you stole my gag.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, great minds think alike, and so do me and you, apparently.
Yeah, well, I'll give the listeners a little quick one-liner about the film
Okay.
that I read. A mother desperate to reconnect with her troubled daughter becomes embroiled in the urban legend of a demonic witch. Of course she does. It just doesn't make any sense.
No. And usually all horror films make sense. All the way through. I wasn't making fun of you then, by the way. I was making fun of horror films.
It sounded like you were making fun of me.
Take it however you like it. It's all good listening. But yeah, directed by Caradog James, which is apparently a name.
Okay.
Clearly has his surname and first name the wrong way round, but that's his choice. Yeah. In fact, it sounds like someone's calling his name off a register. So, what did you think of the film anyway, Jimmy? I think we made it a little bit clear straight off the bat.
Yeah, don't watch twice. Simple. I liked it the first time, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was quite good. And then when watching it again, I was like, oh, really? Got to watch it again?
I was, the first time, thought, this is bad. And then it was such a gap, because, I mean, this is the last film I requested, and then we had to take a gap because we couldn't figure out how to get good audio. We still don't know if it's going to work, by the way, everyone. This is us trying it out. So then it was a few weeks. No problem. Few weeks, just ironing out the wrinkles in the podcasting here. It was a few weeks before I got to watch it again, and the second time, because in my head it had just got worse and worse and worse over time. Do you know what I mean? You watch it and you think it's bad, and in your head it becomes incredibly bad. I felt like giving it a bad time, basically, unduly, and then I watched it a second time, and about halfway through, I was like, no, it deserved it.
Now, there is a game, isn't there, of the same title that's loosely based on the same story, like that you could do like VR
yes,
style, which I think would be better.
Yeah, released on consoles and PC in 2017, I think. Apparently not a good game either.
Oh, right.
Just reading my notes on it.
Oh, okay.
Basically the same story, but only loosely. So there you go. Some people said the film and game were based around the same story itself, if you know what I mean. So there was an original story, and then both games were just based on the original story. But
I mean, they did release it on the Nintendo, though, didn't they? So that is shit. So there you go.
Well, yeah. Not Console Wars on Madhouse Podcast. Right, should we do Frights and Delights? Because we're swaying that way anyway.
No, I thought we did.
Yeah, we'll do the plot
first,
slot.
didn't we?
Another wrinkle to iron out. You've written the plot slot. You want to start off?
Yeah, it's like, well, I was just going to say something about a ball bag, but I think I'll just move on.
No, I think you should say it, because
it's just about ironing out wrinkles.
Oh,
we're like a ball bag. We've got a lot of wrinkles to iron out.
Yeah, but
and then one day we'll be like a lovely smooth
ball bag.
Plum ball bag. Yeah, ball bag will do.
I have a theory.
Ball bag.
I have a theory, if you want to hear it, that
yeah, go on.
The older you get, the wrinkles disappear anyway, as they elongate down to your ankles and stretch out.
Well, yeah, it's just like a flap of skin.
Yeah, so ball bags aside,
like a turkey's neck.
Aging ball bags aside, and turkey necks ruining Christmas. Let's go to the plot slot.
Right, okay, you ready?
Timer, by the way, it's going now.
Hey, Jessica, an American sculptor and former drug addict, meets with her estranged daughter Chloe and invites her to come and live with her and her second husband, a wealthy banker named Ben. Chloe declines her offer, but that night she goes out with her friend Danny to a neighborhood empty of homes except for one where the legend says a demonic witch from Slavic folklore lives.
The two knock twice on the door and leave. Upon returning home, Danny starts experiencing strange paranormal occurrences. The disturbances stop when Chloe video calls Danny. Before they can converse, Chloe hears knocks on her door, and when she leaves to answer them, Danny is seen in the video being dragged by an unseen force. When the demonic spirit frightens Chloe in her foster home, she accepts Jess's offer and moves in with her and Ben.
Chloe is initially hostile to her family, as she would be because she was abandoned, and only plans to stay for a few nights. Strange events start to unfold, beginning when Chloe finds a human molar in her carrot and coriander soup. That's not the strangest thing. Why did she go for carrot and coriander? Should have gone for minestrone or chicken. Anyway, I digress. Jess is suffering from a nightmare about an old woman crying in her house. In her nightmare, the woman looks at Jess and says, do you want to try and pronounce that?
Yes, please.
Go on.
Thanks. I appreciate the opportunity to embarrass myself. Przepraszam.
Okay, very good. Which apparently means I'm sorry in Polish. Before...
Yes, I am very przepraszam for my attempt at saying that word, Polish people.
Okay, apologies to the Polish. So she says, I'm sorry in Polish, and then slits her own throat, which wakes Jess up in a terrible fright.
Jess tells Chloe about her dream, and finding this description familiar, Chloe tells Jess about a woman they nicknamed Ginger, a supposed witch that used to live next door. After her death by suicide, there began the urban legend that she would come and get you if you knocked twice on her door. However, Jess dismisses this as a bad dream. While sculpting, Jess's model Tyra is disturbed by Chloe's presence and leaves, claiming there is a darkness around her. Chloe believes that this is the Baba Yaga haunting her, but she is ignored by Jess.
While sculpting with Jess, Chloe slowly warms up to her mother. Jess returns to her workshop to see that her sculptures had moved. She believes that Chloe did it in mere seconds, that she'd been out of the room to get 2 soft drinks. The next day, Jess returns to her workshop and discovers it in a shambles, with "She's mine" scrawled on the floor in what appears to be red paint. It's obviously red paint. That night, the two are terrorized by the witch, and they resort to burning down all of the doors.
Classic move, if you ask me.
Yeah, why not?
Burn down your doors.
Yeah.
The next day, a portal opens. Da-da! And Chloe is almost dragged inside, but is saved by Jess. They meet with Tyra, who says that Mary Aminov was never a witch, and that she committed suicide. Because Chloe helped spread the false rumour of witchcraft, Mary's spirit wants revenge. Chloe panics and runs off, convinced by Tyra's words that the disappearances were her fault, and she spends the night on a street where she is found and returned to the foster home.
Jess goes there to get her back, and while there, she has a sudden epiphany that the true culprit of the disappearance was not Mary, but actually a dirty pedo detective. As she and Chloe escape, they are surprised by the sound of 2 knocks coming from the sidewalk. Basement access double doors, which then suddenly open, and Chloe is taken by the witch.
After Chloe's disappearance, Jess breaks into Mary's abandoned house, injuring her foot on an old nail. Very relevant, because it makes it harder for her to run. Unfortunately, she is caught and sent to the police station, but not before getting to knock twice at the door herself. Jess accuses Detective Boardman of the crimes that Mary had been accused of, but gets no answers. When she is finally alone in her prison cell, she uses blood from her wounded foot to leave a message on the wall before being taken through the same portal that previously appeared.
She wanders through the vast woods into a cave where she finds a cage hanging from the ceiling with Chloe inside. Jess gets around and rushes to escape with her as Baba Yaga pursues them. Meanwhile, Detective Boardman has arrived at the witch's house and proceeds to knock twice, causing the door to open on its own. He enters the home, having heard the sounds of Jess and Chloe's voices. Chloe and Jess are able to escape through the front door, but Detective Boardman is dragged inside by the witch.
Jess's husband, Ben, returns home, worried by the disarray he finds inside, and immediately begins looking for Jess, but is confronted by a mysterious figure in their bedroom. Jess and Chloe arrive back at home, noticing Ben's belongings in the entrance, but cannot find him anywhere. As Jess calls Ben's phone and leaves him a voicemail, Tyra is shown leaving the property covered in blood, with Ben's dead body in the trunk of her car. She changes her bloody clothes, and the slave of Baba Yaga symbol is shown on her chest for a brief moment before disappearing.
Jess informs Chloe that Detective Boardman was actually the culprit of the crimes. But Chloe corrects her by telling Jess that while in the other world she saw Michael, and that he was indeed taken by Mary and fed to Baba Yaga, and that Detective Boardman was innocent. It's then that Jess recalls that Chloe told her about Baba Yaga and her human slave, and she realizes that Tara lied to her and tricked her into offering Detective Boardman's life to Baba Yaga in order to transfer the demon to Jess.
So many nonsense words in this film.
Yes.
Tara, Baba Yaga. What's going on? Jess is surprised by a sudden burning sensation. Oh dear. From a necklace. Oh, okay. And realizes that she now has the mark of Baba Yaga or Jaeger. We'll have to have an argument about that one in a minute. The room suddenly goes dark, and there are 2 knocks at the door. As it opens, the figure of Baba Yaga reaches toward them. It is the last thing seen before the film ends.
And
That's the plot
everyone lining up asking for a refund. It's the last thing they see.
I just say we've got 2 minutes 22 left on the clock, and we have never done that before.
Smash that.
Boom. Yeah, everyone probably did ask for a refund.
So,
and then
the detective, was he a nonce or not?
No, you were led on to believe he was a nonce.
I really thought he was.
Yeah. Also,
I don't know why I sound disappointed, but yeah, there you
go. While we're on the subject of nonce, I was only informed in the last few weeks that nonce means paedophile. Right?
Right, I'm sorry. What?
Nonce means paedophile, right?
Yeah, it's what you call a paedophile.
Yeah, I did not know that until a few weeks ago. And I'm just putting a blanket apology out there for everyone in the world who I've called a nonce, thinking it meant plonker. I thought nonce meant, it's a bit of a plonker, bit of a tit, bit of a nonce.
Oh, wow.
So there's probably a few people going, man, I can't believe he called me a paedophile.
So, now, am I correct in thinking that it's your birthday tomorrow?
Why did that come into your head?
Well, I'm just thinking. Moment? Well, I'm not gonna tell the lovely audience how old you're gonna be, but you've went for quite some many years not knowing that nonce meant paedophile. I want to know who you've called a nonce.
Oh, like a lot of people, and it's not even. Maybe it's quite a lot. No, I just thought nonce meant like when you called someone a plonker.
Oh, this is amazing.
Like Del Boy could have said, "Oh, Rodney, you nonce," rather than Rodney, you plonker, and it would have had the same meaning for me.
Right, yeah, but he didn't though. He went, Rodney, you plonker.
Yeah, I know that.
Grandad, you nonce. Stop noncing about.
So yeah, that's
brilliant.
No one talks to me. No one talks to me anymore, and I think that's probably why.
Because you're shouting nonce at them, thinking you're being like bantery, and they're just they're getting offended.
Yeah, and knocked over the bin. Oh, you nonce. That's a bit harsh. Just knocked over a bin.
Sam, my tea's cold. Oh, you nonce.
Anyway, I also worried now that I'm at an age where you have to be careful about saying it in a public auditorium.
Well, yeah.
You know what I said? I'm going to be 33, by the way, everyone. And I said to Sammy earlier, she said, you'll be 33 years old. And I went, 33 years young. And I went, oh, no, now I'm at the age where you say young at the end of it. That's not usually till you're about 80, is it? I'm 80 years young. It's
yes,
switched.
yeah.
Up until a certain time, you say I'm 5 years old, 10 years old, 14 years old, 20-something years old. And then it's, I'm 70 years young.
Right, anyway, you nods. Should we move on to the next session?
Yes, please, you utter plonker, which I'm going to say from now on. What did you say, Frights and Delights?
Oh, yeah, Frights and Delights.
I didn't know if you'd said it or not. Right, yeah. Not even going to do a better intro, I'm just going to let it go.
Yeah, okay.
Frights and Delights.
I don't think this is a bad film. There are worse films. Like, it's quite enjoyable to watch, but I guess it's just, like, the story's a bit shit.
There are worse films in the way that there are worse crimes than being mugged, but being mugged still sucks.
Okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. There are some good performances in the film and stuff, which we will talk about later. But
well, yeah, that's terrible. I don't know what the fuck Nick Moran was doing in this film.
Not much.
Well, yeah, he's only in about 3 scenes, but shit.
Right. have you got any frights and delights before I go off on one? Because I've got not go off on one as in like a rant, but I've got the history of Baba Yaga.
Oh, that would be interesting. But I've got Okay, so there was that bit in the film where the girl finds the molar in her soup.
Yes.
So I thought that was quite interesting. So what I did was then go on the internet to type in human soup. I hope no one searches my internet history because it was disgusting.
I can't imagine human soup
Hold on.
ever coming up with anything good unless it's soup made by humans.
No, so I clicked on human soup. I thought that'd be interesting. I want to know what's going on there. And then I read this first little bit. During the 20th century, there were various alleged instances of soap being made from human body fat. I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. And then realised it's actually soap made from humans.
Human soap.
But yeah, but
Did you
apparently
make
the
a
Nazis
typo?
did it, but then they didn't. It was a myth. Anyway, then I found another page where it was said about the Chinese who were eating baby fetuses soup. Have you seen this? Because it was big, and the pictures are grotesque.
No.
All right, it's disgusting. Anyway, type in human soup in Google and read it. It's disgusting. Anyway, go on. Tell us about your witch.
We have bashed the Chinese a lot on this show, and quite rightly. I'm not saying they haven't deserved it, but I would just like to say as well that the Uyghur Muslims that the Chinese are putting in turn. That's big news now, and it wasn't when we talked about it in our was it train? I think we did it in organ donation.
It was.
And so I'm taking that as we bust that story wide open, and now the whole world.
Yes.
Knows. Yeah. So that's one for the madhouse for freedom.
Oh, excellent!
People.
Got to have one.
And now you've brought out some horrible soup. I'm guessing that'll be in the mainstream news in just a few weeks when they pick up.
I think it already was actually. I think it was a bit late to the party. But it turned out it wasn't real. It was an art piece, but everyone thought it was real. But have a look at the pictures. They are fucking gross.
Okay. So I'm going to talk
I enjoyed a nice kebab after it as well. Sorry, anyway, I'm rambling now. Carry on. Sorry.
So you say Baba Yaga, which sounds like a type of booze. And I say Baba Yaga.
John Wick, isn't it?
Yeah. That's ruined the end of my story.
Oh, shit, sorry.
You haven't really. It's just a side note. Yeah, Baba Yaga is the nickname given to John Wick by his scared Russian targets in the film John Wick. But that doesn't actually have any relation to him at all, apart from him being this scary, almost mythological, deadly creature. It doesn't really make any sense, because he doesn't fit the profile in any other way at all. Just scary. Anyway, Baba Yaga, the proposed demon in the film, is a demon of Slavic origin. Some say she may have been the devil's mother, and legend has it that she lived in a house in the forest. A house made from the bones of her victims, with a fence decorated with lanterns made from children's skulls. A house, and this is where it gets weird, a house that moves around on 2 large chicken legs.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. Baba Yaga / Jaeger, if you fancy a drink, was a deformed elderly woman who was originally portrayed as a witch-like creature that would She would do both good and bad deeds, but mostly bad deeds. She would go from helping out a lost dude find his missing bride to kidnapping and eating children. She could turn you to stone with her gaze, and that's gaze as in with her eyes. She didn't have any homosexuals she kept inside that would go out to turn you to stone. Just to realise how that sounded when I said it out loud. She would turn you to stone with her gaze, then take you home to her cosy bone-built chicken-legged cottage of death and turn you back to flesh, at which point she would kill you, cook you, and eat you. How's that sound, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's all right.
In Russian folklore, and I think I did the right thing in making a note of this information, okay? In Russian folklore, and I'll quote here from an article. Particular emphasis may be placed by some narrators on the repulsiveness of her nose, breasts, buttocks, and vagina. In the tales, people are said to, and that's tales as in story, not tales as in penises. The tales, people are said to have purposefully sought out the Baba Yaga, hoping to use her wisdom to help with various problems. But this was always a gamble, as she could either help you or eat you on a whim. It's even reported that Baba Yaga ages 1 year every time she's asked a question, which does explain her reluctance to help in the first place. She has been in hundreds of folk tales all over the Middle East and Russia, always depicted with a weird chicken leg house, a mop or broom, or a mortar and pestle, which she would use to fly around in above the forest, searching for victims and whipping up wild storms.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable.
Wow, yeah, I guess so.
The word Baba itself can be traced back to many possible meanings, all along similar lines of sorcerer, fortune teller, grandmother, old woman, and in many of the folk tales there are 3 Baba Yagas, whatever, all sisters, which fits in nicely with the common Western folklore of witches being in covens of 3 and all deciding when it is best to meet up again. That's my history of the Baba Yaga for you.
Let's just face it, right? All of these stories, they're derived from basically, it's just a batty old deer, isn't it? That's
Some
all it
crazy
is. It's
person
just
who
a batty
discovered
old
some
woman.
mushrooms in the woods.
I used to live next door to one. She was batty. Like, she could have been the Baba Yaga. You know, she used to make us crumble. I didn't want to eat it because she was blind. God knows what went in it. My mum used to make me eat it.
It's making human soup.
Exactly. She could have been forcing me to try to get me under a spell or something. But it's not. It's just batty old women. That's just what's going to happen. Everyone's going to go that way one day. But back in the day, they used to just shove them out into the forest and call them witches.
And
they weren't. They were just
while
crackers.
they were out there, they would discover all sorts of mushrooms, which would make them a bit more crackers.
Exactly. They're just walking around there with their tits and their fannies out. They can't help it. They're old. They're dragging about. They're going to get horrible and dirty, aren't they? And gross. And people
Also,
are going to
yeah,
start
and
stacking
when
them
they
up.
get their bath, they're probably just a load of plonkers. Sorry, nonsense. No, plonkers. Which is it?
Right, that was lovely. Should we move on to the
I got an
next
interesting fact
section?
for you first, Jimmy. I've just
What?
thought of this. All nonces are plonkers, but not all plonkers are nonces. That works, right?
Yeah, okay. We'll get that up on a sticker or a bumper sticker or something.
This definitely should be our first merch t-shirt. Right, what were you saying about moving on?
Let's move on.
Is that it?
Yeah, I don't know what the next section is.
Oh. What we do next, usually, if I remember correctly, or back to the days of yonder 6 months ago, is we usually take a mosey on over to the master of the macabre.
Master of the Macabre.
Welcome to the master of the macabre, the only time in their lifetimes any one of these actors will be winning an award. And we choose our best actor from this particular film. Only chance. It's not happening again. Right. Do you have a choice for this, Jimmy?
Do you know what? I don't. But if I actually have to say one, it's got to be Katie Sackhoff, who played Jess, I guess.
Yeah, same here. Is that just because of her name?
Only 50% of it. And
Right.
I mean, she's been in some good stuff.
She has.
She was
actually.
in
She's been
Battlestar Galactica, but you know, depends on how much of a nerd you are. Riddick.
Classic piece of modern art.
Riddick.
I haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah, Riddick. She was in Oculus.
This film was Riddick. I didn't write much up for this piece because I couldn't really think of it. She was just in it more than others.
Well, yeah,
she was
yeah,
alright.
exactly. Yeah, Oh my gosh, you played the Pink Power Ranger in something. Sorry, I
Pink
overtalked.
Power Ranger.
Yes, I said Pink Power Ranger in something. I don't know.
Probably Power Rangers.
Yeah, I don't think it was a real one though. Oh, it might be a dirty one.
Power porn. Porny Rangers.
Yeah, shit. Right, well, I apologise for that, Katie Sackhoff.
Right, yeah. Katie Sackhoff wins. Now let's sack off the Master of the Macabre.
Yeah,
And
boy!
move on to the Madhouse rating system.
The Madhouse rating system.
Here we go. We're getting near last orders. It's time to get to the bar, get yourself another pint, maybe another chaser. It's the Madhouse rating system. First up, we got tension and suspense.
Ah, that was a very energetic, awesome intro.
Thanks.
Tension and suspense. A lot of jump scares in this film. Most of them, the obvious type of jump scares that you can see coming a mile off. Yeah, like, oh, if I sneak around these corners, will something? Boo! Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's one good moment. Well, I suppose there's more than one good moment. There's one particular moment that I thought I would mention, which is when Chloe is on a webcam with Danny, and there's that digital kind of distortion. He gets lifted off the floor and presumably killed. Gets dragged out, lifted
Yes.
up. That was a bit of a tingly moment down the spine, and that happened. So the film's not a complete loss because there's that bit.
Yeah.
But really, tension and suspense. There's not much to delve into unless you've got anything specific you want to talk about. There was the bit where Chloe was then lifted up in the air in the hallway of the house. That was
Yes.
pretty good. Actually, that was quite good.
Well, yeah. Well, I liked the bit that I thought, like, you get to believe that the old woman was responsible for all the kids going missing, and then it switches and it's like, oh, actually, hold on, it's not anything supernatural. It was actually a Nancy detective who was being a little bit overly keen with the young boys and girls, and then actually it flips back and it is actually some sort of horrible supernatural Baba Yaga.
Yeah, so there was that tension of what's going on, like the unknown bit of tension. You don't know who the bad guy is. You kind of dragged one way then and the other, and he dies, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because of their mistake.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he gets dragged into the house through the doorway, back into a portal.
Right. Well, I'm not sure it deserves a star for those things.
Nah, bollocks. I've watched loads more films recently that are a lot more tense than that.
Much better films out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, so that's fuck that one
0
off.
out of 1. Sacked off.
0 out of 1.
Next.
Sacked it off. Right, next up then. Oh, it's going to be a lovely little shot of gore and visual effects.
Yeah.
You're right.
I love you're doing this chatter, and just until the right whatever it is comes into your head. It's gonna be lovely. What is it? Gore visual effects. So in the first few scenes with Chloe and Jess, they are not in the same camera shot. They are in the same scene, but they're kept separate on the screen to show how they are distanced from each other emotionally. So that's one camera technique I quite liked that was used to give a sense of characters' relationships through the cinematography.
Very nice.
Baba Yaga climbing out the sink to attack Chloe was not a great effect, I didn't think. The room was clearly just bathed in red flashing light. That wasn't a great effect. You know what I mean? It was just, you can tell there's a red light flashing on and off. So not very imaginative, and then just some scary hands appeared over the countertop, which I assume there's a hole in the countertop and someone put some scary nails on their hand, and I mean, it kind of worked. But It wasn't immersive. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh,
You could tell
okay,
it was
yeah.
a red light
Okay, yeah,
flashing,
fair
and
dues.
because you could tell that certain things were one thing, took you out the scene, and then you're in the room while they're filming it, and you can imagine exactly how everything's done. I'm not immersed. I did like the tooth in the soup, and I didn't mind the carrot and coriander.
Why? What's up with you? That's not a proper soup to have. It's one of your modern soups. That's that. Yeah,
What
no.
is
It's got to be a tomato with
tomato soup's great, obviously, classic.
with a bit cheese on toast on the side.
Yeah. But what is in minestrone? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's vegetables. It's a tomatoey type of broth. It's a lot of vegetables. There's a bit of
Do you think there
pasta.
could be carrot in there?
It's thick. Well, there might be. There might be little dices of carrot. I don't know. It's Italian, isn't it? I don't know what they're
Do
putting
you
in
like
it.
lumpy soup?
Bacon?
Lumpy soup or smooth soup?
It depends on my mood. I like them both. Like, I'll have a chicken. I'll have a cream of chicken. Absolutely, 100%. But then or I'll go for a minestrone or even a pea and ham.
Ooh, controversial. How is pea and ham a thing?
Yeah. You're peeing on what?
How is pea and ham a thing? Not pea on Sam.
Oh.
Anyway, the tooth in the soup, which was quickly followed by Jess finding the Baba Yaga in the house, slitting her own throat, and then she has Jess's face instead of her own. She falls to the floor
Yes, that.
and very quickly
Yeah, that was
decomposes.
nice.
It was nice. It was good. It was also noticeably CGI. I don't know if you remember or noticed at the time. So it was a good touch. But me and you are, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I've always thought me and you are more the practical effect kind of guys.
Yeah, if you can do it without CGI,
I feel like that could have been
better.
done without CGI. Like, I don't know. Anyway, it was noticeably computer-y.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's your go on visual effects. Some of it was quite good. Some of it wasn't as good as it could have been.
Well, what do you reckon then?
Half.
I'd give it a half. Yeah, let's give it a half.
So a half out of 2.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna stumble to the bar because it's my round again, and I'm gonna have I'm gonna go on the old top shelf there, and I'm gonna have a little go on the performance.
You're around again. I thought you said at the beginning I had deep pockets.
Yeah, I was just bigging you up.
Cheers. Right, well, I'll get the next round then. Don't want to just be all talk. Performance. It's okay. No one is acting brilliantly in this film, I don't think. I don't know if that's too harsh. I don't know what you think. The two main characters are supposed to form a stronger bond as the film goes on, and while the actions they take show this, the emotional side just doesn't show through for me. I didn't feel the chemistry, basically, between the two leading ladies. Strong mother-daughter bond that was meant to be there just kind of wasn't there, even after it was meant to have been re-established later on in the film.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and no one else was that brilliant in this film. They were two good actresses.
Okay.
I don't know if we're supposed to use the female form anymore. Whatever.
Yeah, of course, actresses.
So, I thought they're both good actresses, but I didn't at all feel that they had actual, genuine, emotional connections more at the end of the film than they did at the beginning of the film.
Yeah. And also, I don't know why Nick Moran was in this film.
I don't know.
It's mental. He should be in a South London gangster film.
Oh, okay. Was he the nonce?
He was a detective, wasn't he?
Okay. No. Could have been anyone, really, to me. I mean...
He's in Lock, Stock, wasn't he?
Oh, was it him?
Yeah.
Good film. Can't do that, though.
Yeah, great film. I mean, it's one of his it's probably his best film. Don't know what he was doing in this one. Right, star, yay or nay?
Nay.
Nay. Yeah, okay. So we're at half a star so far.
Yes. Out of 3 now. We're on to number 4, which is Jimmy.
Number 4
Yes.
is right. Let me have a think. Give me a clue.
Sounds like Cusicle Moore and Pound Reflex.
Oh yes, I've just stumbled back from the toilet, and my boy over at the bar, he's got me something. It's musical score and sound effects.
With tequila.
Yeah.
This score is one of the more constant and consistent score because it's always there. Sometimes in moments where silence would have been a bit better for the effect of the scene. It was an original score, but not original in terms of new ideas. Just original in terms of had never been in anything else before. It had that constant sound of strings kind of raising in pitch slowly until they stop suddenly and something scary predictably happens, or absolutely nothing happens on screen, and the character sighs relief, and the filmmaker apparently feels clever for tricking us. But the problem with that is, when you've done it once, it's not effective anymore for the rest of the film, and in this film I feel like they just keep doing it.
Yes.
What the hell was that?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, was that a siren?
That was outside. Yes.
Fair enough. Anyway, what did you
Definitely
think?
not Purge Night, is it? It's not Purge Night, is it?
No, I think that's next week. Let me check my diary. Yeah, next week. Killed Jimmy and that. Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah, no chance.
I've been in your house for the last few years setting out traps. Anyway, what do you want to do for musical score and sound effects? Because I did feel like the music was used to set us up for jumps that didn't happen sometimes, and once is okay, twice is pushing it, more than that it annoys. It's like a dream sequence for me. You know how I feel about dream sequences in horror films?
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Use it once, and it's like, okay. Use it twice, it's like, you fucking kidding me. Using it 3 times, it's like, yeah, maybe you should go to film school, then make a film.
I don't know. What are you saying?
I mean, it sounded alright, so I'm willing to give it a half if you want to give it a half.
Give it a half. Give it a half. That brings it up to a round 1.
Shit. Okay. Overall experience.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
my line.
Jimmy, what's next?
Wow, I'm stumbling back from the bar. There's tequila everywhere. Somebody's lit some sambuca up. There's shots. Everything's on fire. Ruined. We're just having it. We're just looking deep into the last bit of the pint glass for that overall experience.
So we're looking down at the bottom of the pint glass, and what do we see, Jimmy? Do we see a nice little bit of gold and a little beer there to drink, or we just see the dregs of someone else's pint that they've thrown up in just before they left?
No, I see a lot of spit and fag butts.
Just dregs.
But I'm still going to drink it.
Yeah, of course you are. Because you're pissed as
That's
fuck.
that's how I feel about this film.
Yeah, okay.
There's still a bit of booze there, but also horrible fag butts. So I'm going to enjoy a little bit of it, but I'm still going to have left with a smoky, dusty taste in my mouth.
So basically, it has alcohol and nicotine in the bottom of the glass, and alcohol and nicotine add up to a good night, but maybe not in this concoction.
Yes.
So yeah.
Lovely.
But that doesn't answer the question of whether you're gonna give it a star, leave it as 1 out of 4, or take a star away.
I'd probably just give it another little half, because it was all right the first time. I wouldn't watch it again. It's all right, watch it. It passes an hour and a half, doesn't it? You're not going to be fully disappointed.
I'm going to give
I
it a
guess-
half because I've circled on my notes that it deserved a 2 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to give it a half. Perhaps unexpectedly, but still. Had a few cans, I'm feeling generous.
Saucy.
I like generous.
Oh.
Right. So 2 out of 5 for Don't Knock Twice. Watch it once, don't watch it twice. Just don't knock twice. Sounded like a game show there, didn't it?
You sound like Alan Partridge then.
Welcome to Don't Knock Twice. Aha! Right, I believe it's your film choice.
Yes, it is. You ready for this?
No? Yeah,
Oh.
but no. I never am. I hate this bit when it's your turn to read something out to me. I hear seagulls for 5 seconds, and then I have to take a guess at a film. That's basically what happens in this part for me.
Okay. Right, you ready? I'm going to give you the line.
Sure.
Okay. 2 siblings become increasingly frightened by their grandparents' disturbing behavior while visiting them on vacation.
2 siblings become increasingly frightened by their grandparents while they go on vacation.
2 siblings become increasingly frightened by their grandparents' disturbing behavior while visiting them on vacation.
No, I don't know.
No?
No.
Okay, it is the 2015 by film directed and written by M. Night fucking
Shyamalan.
hell. Shyamalan. Is that right?
Shawadi Wadi.
Let's let's not bring it down here. It's 2015 by M. Night Shyamalan. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. We're gonna have to cut that.
Shyamalan.
Okay, so 2015 film The Visit by the director and writer of the films The Sixth Sense.
How have I never heard of that film?
Oh, because it wasn't a mainstream thing. It was something that he written, directed himself, that he wanted to bring back so he could have complete creative control over it.
Okay.
Other than all these other, like all of his other big films like Glass and Unbreakable and all these, he didn't get the final cut of it. So this one was like him doing it himself, and he did a film. I can't remember what the film was called, but he used all the money that he got from doing that one film to write this film, and it's on Netflix, and it is fucking brilliant.
I don't think I've seen a Shyamalan film I don't like. So
Exactly. So you know what you're going to be in for, but do you?
God, I sense a double twist.
That's the thing, isn't it?
I sense it was the nonce. No, wait, it wasn't the nonce because he's not a nonce type of twist like we just had, but better.
Yes, but I don't think there's any nonsense in this.
Well, you can't have everything, Jimmy. So our next film is, what's it called?
The Visit.
The Visit 2015. Did you say?
Yes.
We're done for the day, aren't we, Jimmy?
Lovely. Yes.
Nice. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on our comeback, not so special. We've had a good time. I've had a good time anyway, speaking for Jimmy. Don't forget to subscribe on your favourite podcast app, iTunes or wherever you find your podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and email us your requests, views, opinions, crazy ramblings and personal horror stories to the madhousepodcast@outlook.com. Jimmy and myself will see you in a fortnight for our next episode on The Visit. Stay scary.